Welcome everyone back to weekly weather updates, and in today's video we're going to have a look at the latest from the live radar, run for the UKV, have a look at the precipitation and the temperature over the next 5 days. The next couple of days it is going to remain fairly cold and we are going to see lots of rain, especially overnight tonight into tomorrow, and as we head into the start of the next working week with plenty of areas of rain, showers and even some thunderstorms potentially mixed in there. Especially further southwards. However, as we head into the second half of the week, it is looking like we could see something a bit drier and warmer for a time. Temperatures could even get into the low 20s. Now that isn't unusual for May, but it will be a big change compared to what we've had the last few weeks. So definitely looking forward to that. There is a lot of uncertainty though how long that will last, whether it be a few days of 20 degrees or whether it will be longer perhaps. We'll have a look at those longer term prospects, which do look very mixed in the second half of the video. So do remember, if you enjoy my videos, which do like and subscribe, and remember to follow me on Twitter as well, the link's in the description. Now if you start on the live radar, you can see we are seeing a big deluge across much of southern and eastern England at the moment. This big area of rain that is developing, pushing in as we do have this cut-off low that has been sat to our south, throwing bits of rain up throughout the past 24 hours, but is now fully moving in. And you can see lots of very heavy rain is pushing in. It's actually quite a bit more intense and widespread than initially forecasted, as we'll see from the UKV in a minute, and it is forecasted to last to around the mid-morning period tomorrow. Now the UKV does show it pulling away very quickly into the North Sea, so I have got a bit of scepticism towards that, as it would be, it would be a very quick pull away if it clears from sort of the London area all the way to the North Sea in the matter of an hour or two. But that's what's forecasted for around 7-8 a.m. tomorrow, so we will have to see. But from now until then, the next sort of 10 hours or so, we are going to see non-stop rain in many of these areas. And as we'll see from the UKV in a minute, there could be some really quite intense rainfall rates, especially for the early hours of the morning, as there could be some really quite heavy rain. You can see some of it here across northern France, some thunderstorms or remnants of very heavy showers potentially pushing in. Now further northwards, we're still in the cold air, so it's chilly, frost developing, and you can see there's still a few showers around. But actually, I'd say the coldest conditions through the day today have been in the southeast corner, even though here the upper air temperatures are rising, with this cloud and rain building in, has made it feel really chilly indeed out there, like we're back in winter. Now, if you do put on those temperatures, you'll be able to see that in the southeast it is chilly. You can see across much of Europe, where we've not got rain, temperatures are in the mid-teens, high teens through the evening. But you can see it is chilly indeed in these areas, even though the upper air temperatures would resemble temperatures into the teens. You can see though, further northwards, we are seeing those temperatures drop away through the hills and in the countryside, and will likely drop towards freezing once again tonight, as we still have that cold air in place. However, in the next few days, that cold air will dissipate and we will all be going above average for at least a few days, and then beyond that, into the longer term, the uncertainty does build. Now, if you look at the latest UKV, you can see that rain moving in through this evening. Now, this is the snapshot at 9 p.m. This is essentially when I'm recording this. You can see that the rain is not actually that intense on the UKV, but as we saw on the live radar a minute ago, it is really intense. So UKV underdoing it a little bit. But you can see over the coming hours, it does get a lot more intense on the UKV. And then you see this area of really heavy rain moving into the southeast corners, and oranges and reds developing there. That's 10 to 20 millimeters per hour. That's some torrential rain through the early hours of the morning. But look at this, 5 and then 6 a.m. still raining pretty heavily, quite widely. But by 7, very quickly starts to move out into the North Sea, and by around 10 a.m. it's completely gone. So a real rapid pull away there, from around 5-6 a.m. to around 10-11 a.m. So yeah, massive uncertainty exactly how quickly that will pull away. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. We will have to see. But if you have got plans through the morning, expect rain. You may be lucky and escape with rain, especially from 10 a.m. onwards, if this model is correct. Into the afternoon, though, it's a much drier day. A few showers around, especially further westwards, but we're seeing some sunshine developing, and it won't be actually all too bad. Into the evening, again, not too bad. We are still seeing areas of showers and rain moving in from the south, as we still have lower pressure dominating. However, as we head into Tuesday and Wednesday, those showers, instead of moving from the west to east, start moving from the east to west, and that's because this low starts getting pushed away by a developing area of high pressure. Now, with this high pressure building in, it is going to pull in easterly winds. Now, you'd think easterly winds, after what we've been through the last couple of weeks, is going to be cold, it's going to be chilly. But we're seeing a really interesting pattern that we'll be able to see on the long range charts when we have a look at sort of the full European view in a minute. It's very interesting where we're seeing actually some very warm air going round these cut-off lows that we've seen, pushing into Europe, giving Europe very warm temperatures, and it's getting dragged around towards the UK, taking a very long track. But being over land, it does maintain its warmth and heads towards the UK by Wednesday and Thursday. You can see there could be some very heavy rain or even some thunderstorms there through Wednesday afternoon to the evening, but for many, we're going to actually see some very warm conditions. So where you do avoid those showers, those thunderstorms, it will be very warm indeed with that wind coming in from the east. This warmth is actually across parts of Europe at the moment. It's just taking a very long time to get dragged our way. Now, if you put on the upper temperatures, you can see through Monday, we are still relatively chilly. But as we head through Tuesday, temperatures start to slowly rise with the wind veering in from the southeast and rise further with this easterly wind, very warm easterly wind pushing in. And by Thursday afternoon, we're all a good 5 degrees above average, likely seeing temperatures towards the 20-degree range where we avoid those thunderstorms. Now, you can see as we head through this evening, temperatures dropping away in the north and west towards freezing, where we have got clear skies and that cold air still in place. And into tomorrow afternoon, where that rain lingers in the north and east, we could only see 8 or 9 degrees in the early afternoon. Further west was 12 or 13 degrees, so still a pretty chilly day tomorrow. But as we head into Monday, chilly overnight, but by the afternoon, temperatures starting to rise into the mid-teens or even upper teens, 16, 17 degrees is possible. And the same could be said for Tuesday. Again, could be a little bit chilly overnight, but temperatures by the afternoon, 18 to maybe as high as 20 degrees. In the west, temperatures are much cooler, and that's because we still have that rain pushing in. Into Wednesday, it's a similar story. Look at this, by the mid-afternoon, where we've got those very warm easterly winds and avoid those thunderstorms in the west, 22 or 23 degrees. Really warm indeed, really quite pleasant. And you can see as we head into Thursday, it's a similar picture. By the afternoon, temperatures widely getting towards the low 20s. Quite a big area towards sort of 18 to 22 degrees there, up and down the country. So yeah, could see a good few days of very warm conditions this week due to this very warm easterly wind. It is only a good 5 degrees above average, but it's very warm compared to what we've had recently, so it will feel like quite a big step change. However, the uncertainty is how long it lasts. And if we have a look at the latest UKV, we can try and see what that is showing today. You can see the low pressure spiraling around over at the moment, and that's going to give us our heavy rain through tonight into tomorrow. Low pressure is still around, that's going to give the heavy showers or even thunderstorms into the early part of the week. But then you can see that easterly wind developing with this high pressure up towards Scandinavia. Now, traditionally, you'd think this would be a cold easterly wind, but look at it, it's actually very warm. And it's because we're dragging up a very warm air mass that's sat across the Mediterranean. It is sat towards the Mediterranean at the moment, slowly wafting up towards northern Italy by Monday, out towards Eastern Europe, and then gets drawn our way into Thursday and Friday. Now, beyond that, that warm air does lose its intensity, loses its oomph, and you can see by the weekend to the start of the next week, we still are in generally average air, but you can see cold air to our north is trying to return. But you can see high pressure is holding on towards Europe, but we do eventually, unfortunately, see some lower pressure pushing in, some colder air masses, but they never fully get in. So the last week of this run is very changeable. Some days where it could get towards 20 degrees, some days where it'd be pretty chilly, especially further northwards, and it would be very up and down in terms of precipitation. So yes, warm conditions coming this week, but still massive uncertainty with that longer range. And it isn't just individual runs showing this, it's all sort of the runs are showing this, as we'll see from the ensembles in the second half, at the end of the video, where we are seeing huge range of upper air temperatures come that second week of May. Now, if you compare to the GM, again, we got low pressure spiraling around at the moment. Eventually, easterly winds push in through the latter parts of the week. A bit more low pressure dominated with this, which could mean there will be more showers widely. We'll have to keep a close eye on that. If we put on the precipitation here, you can see a lot more rain spiraling in from the east there through that Wednesday, Thursday period as a result of that lower pressure. So we'll have to keep a close eye on that. If that did come off, it would be unfortunate, but at least it would be warmer in this sort of scenario regardless. If we look beyond that, still seeing those warmer air masses in place, but eventually again cooler air trying to push in by day 10. And again, very changeable like the GFS. Still generally high pressure dominated, so we would likely see it turn a bit drier. But as we're seeing over the next couple of days, even small little cut-off lows or pesky little upper troughs can give lots of heavy rain and thunderstorms, especially this time of year. So have to keep a close eye on that. We can't really rule out precipitation unless we were firmly under a big high, which we aren't here. We're just close by, but as I said, small little things can crop up. If you finally compare to the ECMWF, again, very similar low pressure spiraling around at the moment. Another low pressure system out to our southwest, and again, easterly winds pushing in later this week. Again, a bit more high pressure dominated, unfortunately. Low pressure dominated, which could mean, again, a few more showers. But as we go towards day 10, actually, in contrast to the other runs, we are sat under higher pressure, which would rule out heavy rain. If you do look at the precipitation here, there's a bit of drizzle around the northern edge of the high for Scotland, but for many other areas it's minimal to no precipitation at all due to this big high pressure system building in, which would be very pleasant indeed. Again, the temperatures widely towards the low 20s come a week on Tuesday. So Eastern WF looking like the best run here for something warmer and drier, but by no means is it guaranteed, and we can see on the ensembles the huge variances we're seeing in the ensembles. Now you can see over the next couple of days still chilly, but we go well above average by the middle of the week. But you can see there are some higher precipitation spikes due to the risk of showers and thunderstorms. Eventually though, as we head into the following weekends, temperatures do trend back towards average, and that's not really to do with an overall trend. That's more due to the fact that we got some very mild runs, warm runs, and we've also got some very cold runs appearing. Precipitation does reduce, but doesn't go to zero. So again, it kind of gives off evidence to my hypothesis that at the moment the ensembles don't, and the models in general, don't really know exactly what is going to be happening. A whole range of scenarios from cold to warm to dry to wet. But I would say the one scenario that I would rule out is very wet, Atlantic driven. It does look like we will see at least some dry high pressure around, which is at least a positive at the moment. Now, if you finish by looking at the latest ECMWF ensembles, again, it's a very similar picture. Below average, going above average, but precipitation increasing and then trending back towards average with some cold and some warm runs, with precipitation moderate, not ridiculous, but no major dry signal. So I have to keep an eye on what's going to be happening over the next couple of weeks. But the one positive I can say is it's definitely going to be turning warmer later this week. 20 degrees is looking very likely in many areas. And as I said, it could be kind of recurring theme as we head into May. Should be this time of year, but compared to what we've had recently, you never know. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you again for another video soon.